Live. Okay, we're live here, Yoga for the People, by the People here on Zoom. Thank you for joining me. I'm Justin, and this is Cancun, Mexico, in a resort's name that I can't actually pronounce because I never asked anybody, so I'm going to guess. Rio Costa Mujeres in Quinta Roo. So it's very nice, and I'm trying to stay as far away from pretty much everyone as possible and wear my mask. And before we get started, as I've taught on Zoom before, it's been a minute. This is my right hand. This is my left hand. Okay, so if it's mirrored for you, this is right. If this looks like my left hand on your screen, it'll be mirrored the whole time. If it looks right, if this looks like my right hand, it'll look like that the whole time. Depending on how you have your screen set up, I have two screens that look different on each one. So just make a mental note. This is what my right hand looks like today. This is what my left hand looks like today. I'm going to teach forward and back most of the class. Now, there'll be times where I'm going to show it from a different angle. So for example, if this is Warrior 2, I'm going to teach it from this position so you have a better idea of the alignment. And if there's anything that comes up where you need to give me a heads up, the sound went bad, we're having some kind of technical difficulty, please turn your microphone on and inform me, because I will not be able to see the chat if I can barely see anything at all. But as we all know in yoga, everything we really need comes from within. So for our theme for this class, comes from Anne Frank. It's really a wonder that I haven't dropped all my ideals because they seem so absurd and impossible to carry out. Yet I keep them because in spite of everything, I still believe that people are really good at heart. Now, today's theme, and this class is about hope. It's about the expression of hope, but it's also about the belief in hope. It's a time that's challenging for everyone, and I think we all have different ideas on how we can make it better. But none of those things, I believe, can be accomplished if we don't believe in the best in each and every person that we interact with. If we don't believe that the people that we work together with can't find a common ground, and that we together can't make this world a better place. Now that's a challenging message right now. I think everything is shrouded in so much that we're going through. And how do we see the hope through all of the challenges? And I think, and I believe, that a lot of that comes through faith, and it's just looking at someone and telling yourself, no matter what emotional response, that first thought you can't control, the second thought you can. First thought says, second thought says, you know what, I'm going to believe in the best of this person because I believe that the best is possible. So with that in mind, we'll start by sitting up nice and tall. So from the bottom of the seat to the crown of the head, comfortable seat. Let's exhale completely. Closing the eyes perhaps. We're going to deepen our breath. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling out the nose. Inhaling, very deep breath. And exhale. I want you to continue to breathe on your own. We're finding, cultivating, developing our deepest breath. The deepest inhale is the sensation of the full breath coming in through the nose. And then on the exhale, pressing all of the air out on the exhale. Continuing to breathe on your own. We'll do 3 deep breaths, then we'll start our yoga practice. As we open the eyes here, we're going to start with a very gentle seated forward fold. Let's inhale the arms up. On an exhale, maybe pulling up a little bit from the hips and folding forward. So this could be a gentle fold. This could be a deep fold. Please stay in the fold while I get the music going. And just trying to find the first pose where it fits for you. second ago I said we'd start our yoga practice here, but really yoga starts with the breath, and then it goes to intention. What are you practicing for? What are you seeking? Digging deep into what you need today and nothing else. One more breath. Inhaling arms up. I'm going to do a seated twist to the right. Exhale the left hand down the right knee, right hand behind the back. So engage off the right shoulder. Behind the ball. We're going to do breath. Next inhale, we're going to bring the arms back up to center. We're going to reach high. On the exhale, right hand on the left knee, left hand behind the back. We're going to sit up nice and tall in this position, so you feel the left hand is really close to the sit bone. Nice tall spine, twisting, gazing off the left shoulder. Next inhale, we're going to take the hands, we're going to bring them back to center. They're going to be high. And on the exhale, we're going to part the hands, bring them alongside the body. We're going to do a seated back bend, very gentle. So I'm going to show up from the side. From the side here, hands alongside. Keeping the feet down, we're just going to open the chest, head comes back, neck comes back. Always with the deep breath in the nose, out the nose. One more very deep breath. Next, inhale, coming back to center. I want us to either float through or swing the legs around the child's pose now. So showing from the side, for child's pose, we have the knees as wide as the mat, my fictional mat. Big toes touch behind us, sitting back on the heels. Arms are perhaps forward, any modification of child's pose you'd like. Staying in child's pose here while I make one more adjustment. Two more breaths in child's pose. Child's pose is a pose you can come to at any point in your practice. If you feel like you've lost the rhythm of the breath, like the breath has become challenged, just want to take a break where you enjoy the stretch. Child's pose is always available to you anytime. On the next inhale, we're going to come up to table pose. Mostly because my headset almost fell off because my head is sweating. The new challenge is teaching class outside. From here, we're going to do some cat and cow at your own pace. So I'm still showing from the side, but on the exhale, the spine comes very high, gaze between the legs. On the inhale, belly full of air, gazing up. And I want you to move with the rhythm of your own breath. So the exhales bring you to cat. The inhales bring you to cow. Following the breath, letting the breath move the body. It's the entire breath that makes the transition. It's not breathing at the peak of the pose. The inhale moves the body from one position to the other, all the way through. One more round of cat-cow. When you do one of each, we're going to meet in a flat back and a neutral spine. In this neutral spine now, we're just going to do some spinal rotation. It's intentional movement with the breath. So this is your hip crease right here. The goal is on the inhale, the entire inhale peaking at the top. Takes this right hand very slowly, a lot of intention, brings it up. Really feeling the stretch at the top. Let's do one full breath at the top. On the exhale, the right hand, with just as much control, concentration, intention, comes slowly back down like a mat. Now on the left side, control, inhale, left hand up, rotating at the hip crease. One full breath at the top. On the exhale, the left hand comes down with control. I want you to do a couple rounds on your own. You don't have to take the full breath at the top, but I would like the intentional raise. Inhale up, exhale down. Following with your own breath, feeling the stretch and pausing and moving where you need. The gift of yoga is that we all have a different practice, we all have different needs, and every pose is modifiable in a way that can treat what you need today, not yesterday, not tomorrow, not what your neighbor needs, just what you need right now. Following the breath. Next time you finish the left side, we're going to meet once again in child's pose. There's no rush to get there. Take your time. So a child's pose, depending on what you want, you can modify this pose. So the farther you reach the arms forward, the more of a shoulder stretch you get. The more you sit back on the heels, the more you get a stretch in the hips. You always bring the arms back as well. You like more in the hips, but we'll do 2 more breaths here. Next time we are inhaling, we'll find the top of the push-up once there to get through the table pose. So what happens when you're a yoga teacher sometimes is your mouth is ahead of where you're supposed to be because your brain is thinking ahead. Remaining present. First table pose. Second, I want you to walk the knees back. You have space to lower the chest and lower the hips to the ground. Critically here, no matter how you lower down in this practice or in any practice, you must have control of the body. Elbows not coming out, but elbows staying in. So flatten out the feet. Let's take a big inhale here at the top. On the exhale, with control, lowering the body all the way down. All the way down. So we're going to do half frog on the right. Cactus arms bring us out. I'm going to show 2 angles. So angle 1, have the cactus arm. The right knee comes up to the right elbow. These toes point towards the side. You can rest on one side of the face. I recommend the opposite side for a deeper stretch. You can always take the right hand and pull, right knee a little higher. We'll walk the left leg back, directly back, not to the side. You'd like a deeper stretch. So from the other side, and not flying like I expect. Right knee will be up, close to the side, left leg straight back. Now this is a very gentle hip stretch. It's not meant to be a lot. We're just warming up the body, and we're not trying to ask too much today, or at least at the beginning. Sinking in, coming to the deepest breath, seeing perhaps if we can find a breath that was even deeper than we started this breath. 2 more breaths on this side. On the exhale, when you're ready, the right leg is going to slowly come back. In between sides here, bringing the feet in the sky. We're just going to windshield wiper the feet side to side. This could be fast, this could be slow. Some people have those windshield wipers where it does one side differently each time. That's weird. I mean, it's up to yours. You can have that. I didn't even know it existed until someone explained it to me. But any way you want a windshield wiper is fine with me. When you feel like this right leg is tripping out, we're going to move to the left side. So I'll switch my angle. Same alignment cues here. Cross this arm, left knee comes up to the left elbow. Take the left hand comes and tugs the left leg a little higher. Left toes off to the side, right leg straight back. Maybe resting on one side of the face. So, if you want a little more here, it's about intention. Just like all of our movement in yoga, we have control over where the intensity is. So think about it. This left hip is floating a little bit in the sky. Now, what if we mentally took all of our energy and tried to press that floating left hip into the floor ever so gently? Feeling the stretch intensify right from that single mental concentration, that focus on pressing, breathing, staying with the breath. Two more breaths down this left side. On the exhale, the left leg slowly comes back. As it comes back, we're going to shake out the legs just like we did before. Windshield wiper will work. One side and then the other. If you feel like you need a little front and back, it's your legs. Feel free to do whatever you need. So I've moved around quite a bit here, side to side. You're always facing front to back on your mat. So your head's at the top of the mat, your feet are at the back. Even though I move around, it's just for angle purposes. Limited working space here. When you're ready, legs come down, they straighten. So, let us prepare for a cobra pose. First, let's do Sphinx actually. Take this arm, tuck one underneath the chest, the other underneath the chest, and we're going to gentle back bend here. So the forearms are right underneath, pressing the top of the feet, pressing the thighs right into the mat. Gentle back bend. You can feel some pressure in your low back. Take the low back, pull it in, pull it up, strengthen the low back. Also press those thighs down, really engage those muscles to protect you. 2 more breaths. On the exhale, we're going to lower back down. I'm going to change my angle here. Very good, back to front and back. So take the hands now. I want you to tuck the hands alongside the chest, pretty far back. Actually, all right, so hands are alongside the chest here. We're going to do Cobra in 3 stages. So on an inhale, top of the feet are pressed in, thighs are pressed in. Inhale, come about 1/3 of the way up. A little baby Cobra. Exhale down. Next inhale, we're going to come 2/3 of the way up. Like a teenage Cobra. Ron's going to all he wants to do is eat chicken tendies. So pointing, exhale, bring it down. Now for the full-fledged Cobra pose. Using the strength of the arms, pressing the feet, top of the thighs are pressed in. Inhale all the way up to your arms. Let's take 3 breaths. Finding the deep breath. On an exhale, we're going to float the toes over, and we're going to come to downward facing dog. Downward facing dog. We're going to bring the feet as high as we can. Now let's give you child's pose. Down dog is most of your practice. We'll right to child. Look for down dog. I'll find my frame here. Very good. We're bringing the feet as high as we can. So as we do that, we pretend that the puppeteer and we pull the hips up and up and up. And then we take the heels and we press them down and down. This helps the heart melt towards the mat. Adding any additional movement that you like, we'll stay here for 4 more breaths. Do the child's pose, anything you want, anything you need. On the exhale, looking forward. We're going to bend at the knees, and we're going to walk our hop feet to the hands. I'm going to change my angle so you'll face it directly towards you. So maybe a forward fold, a little bit of bend in the knees if you like. Hands on the shins, let's inhale halfway up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, arms sweeping up, rising up. Exhale, hands to heart center. So to continue on with our practice, we're going to do a sun salutation. Notice I didn't have my glasses on. I said, why does the lighting get so weird? There you go. Sun salutation A. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hinging from the hips, folding forward. On the inhale, hands on the shins, halfway up. We're going to put everything we've learned together on this exhale. Half vinyasa, bending in the knees on the exhale. Hands come down. Change my angle. Walk the feet back to the top of the push-up. Knees down, top of the feet down, lower down in control. Still on that exhale breath. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Just keep it child's pose. Doesn't have to be down dog, but 5 breaths for whatever you choose right now. All in the breath. Breathe, breathe, breathe. More breaths here, downward facing dog. Remember, feet coming as high as you can. Heels pressing down, helps the heart melt and melt and melt. Looking forward. Bending in the knees, walk or hop the feet to the hands. I'm not going to change my angle this time. I'm going to show the sun salutations from the side. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, arms sweeping up, rising up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Changing my angle to the front. So next what we're going to do is we're going to do another sun salutation, some modification, a little more movement of the spine. So let's start. Inhale, arms up. We're going to do some side bends. Right hand on the exhale comes down the right side. Left hand pulls over, side bending to the right. Breathing. So you feel the stress in the left side body here. Always honoring our body. Feel some tension in the low back. Always coming out a little bit. Taking the belly button in and up. One more breath. Next inhale, hands come back to center. On the exhale, opposite side. Left hand goes down left side. Right hand folds over. Finding the side bend where you feel the stretch in the right side body right here. And breathe. One more breath. Next inhale, we're going to bring the hands back up. Center. Next, we're going to, a standing back bend. So we're going to part the hands. We're going to come on the low back. I'm going to change the angle. So we're going to inhale, back bend. Breathing. Hands are on the low back, hands are on the glutes, or hands are way down on the side. As long as your low back feels protected, taking whatever you prefer, breathing. Next inhale, we're going to come back to center. And then we're going to swan dive, we're going to forward fold. So exhale, folding forward. I want you to bend in the knees. So I'm going to try to give you a bigger angle. Knees are bent, hands are down, so you have enough knees bent that you can touch the ground. All right, so I'll show it from the front. So we're going to do some airplane twists to finish off our final movement. So right hand, just like before, on the inhale comes up. Exhale comes down. Full concentration of the breath with those movements. Inhale, the left hand up. Exhale, left hand down. Do one more at your own pace. When you're finished, we'll meet in ragdoll. So just forward fold with the arms dangling, following your own breath. From this position, knees are bent. We'll grab the opposing elbows, maybe straighten the legs a little bit. Swaying the arms side to side, ragdoll. One more breath. Changing my angle here to the side. Releasing this ragdoll position, hands and shins, inhale halfway up. Exhale, half vinyasa. Taking your time. Exhale, bending in the knees, hands down. Walker hop the feet back to the top of the push-up. Knees down, top of the feet down, lower down in control. Inhale brings us cobra pose, straightening the arms. Gaze up. And the exhale is downward facing dog or child's pose for 5 deep breaths. Feel free to add any movement to your downward facing dog. If you're ever curious about the distance between the hands and the feet, you can always rock forward to the top of the push-up and then rock back. This should always stay the same there, not too close. A lot of times we move our hands and feet too close. Downward facing dog. One more. We're going to do standing poses next. We're going to start with three-legged dog. If three-legged dog is not in your practice, you can feel free to skip it. But simply what I'd like you to do is take the right leg and just bring it high. It could be a little high, it could be a little high, or a lot of high. We're going to bring it up for one breath. On the exhale, we're going to step this right foot between the hands. Now, you may not step that far, so you can always walk the hands back. One hand alongside each side. So we have ourselves a runner's lunge. Now, the back knee, stay up or be down. So I'll take the time to say the right leg in the lead here. Left leg is fine. Right side is always first in yoga because yoga hates left-handed people. In the Yoga Sutras, I think it's chapter 2, it's the part before the herbs, but after the yamas and niyamas. Check it out. So, you could be up and you could be down here for the left side. And stretching out the hips. One person got that Yoga Sutra show. Thank you, Christy, for being here. All right, one more breath. Oh, Jen's here too. On the next inhale, we're going to take this right hand. So your knee could be down. I'll show it from down. We're going to do twisting lunge. The right hand now comes up. Very similar movement, opening the hip crease like we did before. Here's option 1. Here's option 2. Very subtly different. The shoulders are stacked over each other. Twisting out the hip, we're gazing up. Either way, one more breath. On the exhale, this right hand's going to come down. We're going to flatten out the back heel, which means to bring the toes to the opposite side. We're going to flatten the heel out. We're going to rise up for warrior 2. Right arms forward, left arms back. Let's switch my angle so I can see you. So, right leg's in the lead. Left toes are off to the side. Feet are aligned heel to heel or heel to midfoot. Arms are shoulder level, not eye level, shoulder level. In yoga, we have the option to modify. So we could be a shorter stance, we could be a medium stance, we could be a wider. All left to 2 knees. For your practice this morning, 90-degree bend here. Nice and even with the torso too. Sometimes I do this. You want to be even, relax, breathe. Yoga, do the work for you. Yoga is about finding the pose, staying in the pose. On the extended side angle, right forearm forward, and we just use the core to lean. Nice and balanced on the right forearm on the right thigh. Left hand can be straight up or more forward. You feel like you're dumping too much leg, too much weight in this right leg, the back leg that has to work for you. Tell that left thigh to press. Tell that left calf to press. Use that left leg to drive at the core. Find balance in the feet. On the next inhale, I'd like to do crescent warrior. For crescent warrior, we're going to take both toes. We're going to turn them facing forward. Sweep the arm, hips are equal, almost falling over. Arms come up. So in this pose, this left leg sometimes especially gets lazy. So you want to press through that thigh. Bend in the right knee. Gaze forward, gaze up. Relax at the neck. Staying with the breath. This is where the breath is most challenged in our practice in this sequence. So we must always find the deepest breath. Very deep inhale. Full exhale, suck all the air out. Breathe. One more breath. People just flew by my path of vision. I wasn't sure if it was going to land on me. You probably didn't see it, but it's pretty cool. Last pose, 2 options. Option 1, chair pose, very light. Step left foot forward. Please stay back. This is chair pose. This is chair pose. Option 2, from the position, left leg floats up instead, or all the way up to majorette. This is option 2. This is option 1. So option 1, majorette, slightly, or a lot. And option 2, right leg is straight, the left leg is up. So, 2 breaths. whatever pose you've chosen. On the exhale, we're going to straighten the legs, bring the legs down, bring the hands to heart step. At the top of the mat here, so walk forward to the top, mountain pose, hands alongside, closing the eyes, 3 of your deepest breaths all day. Keep intention. Inhale. And exhale. Coming back to our intention. Each and every person, best that person is available to us, we are receptive to. That is our intention. That is what we need moving forward. Hands to heart center. One salutation. Inhale on. Exhale, hinting from the hips, folding forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale to half vinyasa, so take your time, bending in the knees, hands down. Walk our house, feet back, knees down, top of feet down. Control, lowering down. Inhale, cobra pose. Arms straight. Exhale, downward facing dog or child's pose for 5 deep breaths. Trying to find, even yet, the deepest breath we've had all day. One more breath wherever you're at. You're in child's pose, feel free to come up. Downward facing dog. Left side will complete standing pose to stay same sequence. On an inhale, left leg to the side. Give this a practice, one practice. On the exhale, left foot step between the hands. Step isn't wide enough. Walk the hands back. Runner's lunge, flattening out the spine, bending a little bit, gazing forward, back knee down, back knee up. Wherever you're at, twisting lunge will be the next pose. So the hands, one hand alongside each side of the foot, the left, inhale. Gazes, and it comes up, stacking the shoulders. So I'll change the angle. Twisting lunge. So back knee could be up, back knee could be down. Let the yoga do its work. Find the pose, breathe in the pose. On the exhale, hands like that. Flattening out the back heel. As we do, reversing the warrior. We're going to flip this warrior too. Change the sequence to my original, I never wrote down the script. I'll show it from this side. Left toes are forward, right toes are off the side. Torso is nice and even. Arms on the back. Gaze off the left finger. Breathe. One of the things I teach in my live classes, I always say, yoga is about checking your own alignment. They can give you guidance, they can see you, they can adjust you, they can give you verbal cues. But a great practitioner finds a pose, checks out their own alignment. They check their feet, they check their arms, they check their neck. Left forearm forward now, extended side angle. So as you find this transition, you find extended side angle, ask yourself to check your own alignment. Am I 90 degrees over this knee? Knee right over the heel. My right leg engaged. I'm reaching through the right fingertip. My breathing. no matter your level of yoga, beginner, intermediate, advanced, or awesome. It's all about checking those alignments, such they can maximize the potential of your own yoga practice. Making small adjustments as we go. One more breath. Squaring the hips forward, crescent warrior. Back toes face forward, maybe stepping in, sweep the arms up. And then we're going to relax at the neck. So I'll show it from the front. Left knee forward, left knee is behind. Left knee is forward, right leg is straight, engaged behind. Nice small line. More breath. On the exhale, last standing pose, either chair or majorette. Option 1. Step. Show you what this looks like. Chair pose. Chair pose. Option 2. Straighten both legs. Right knee pose. Majorette. Majorette. Choosing your pose. 3 deep breaths in your pose. On the exhale, you're bringing the leg down, straightening the leg, hands, heart. Big inhale to nose. Exhale to mouth, sigh it out. We're going to do 2 breaths in mountain pose, arms alongside of us, palms face out. 2 deep breaths in nose, out the neck. Very good. Hands to heart center. We're just going to take a seat with the legs forward for Western stretch. So I'll show from the side. We're going to take a seat, extend the legs. We're going to begin our cool down sequence. So for Western stretch, we sit up nice and tall with the spine. Take the toes, we point them towards us, most important. Always engaging the toes no matter where you can reach. Maybe spurring the feet. On an inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. Reaching tall, and on the exhale, folding forward. So it doesn't matter if you reach the toes or not, as long as the toes stay pointed forward to you, coming to that deepest breath. One more breath here. That was a cat. Or child pose. On the next inhale, hands come up. On the exhale, parting the hands. Let's go right to bridge pose. So, as we lay on the back, we have the feet about halfway, where our knees are high, hands alongside of us, palms face down. Use the palms of the feet to allow us to inhale and bring the feet up for bridge pose. Go back, release it. So if you know any moms, you can bridge take the feel. Otherwise, just staying here, letting the pose do its work. 3 breaths. on this inhale. Coming as high as you can. Inhale, bringing the feet up. Exhale, lower the feet down. Walk the feet out. One step. And show where bring your knees side. So we're going to take an inversion now of your choice. Inversion is closer, you're slightly or slightly right now. If you don't know a lot of inversions, I recommend Happy Baby for this practice. If you can hear any of the background noise, you could probably say why. Channeling a hope at that time. So, heels are in the sky here. Hands outside, those feet. Allows us to open up the hips, maybe press the knees towards the armpits. And Happy Baby, you have to smile. It can't be the bad baby. It can't be the baby. It can't be the crying, the screaming, the murder baby. Happy. If you know any versions, shoulder stand or head stand, feel free to take those. We're going to do our inversion for maybe one more breath. In your next couple breaths, we're going to find reclined twist. So to do that, release our inversion, bring our knees in the chest, hands on the shins, and start to rock side to side. Show it from the front. From here, we'll bring the arms out to a T. Legs off the right side, gaze off the left shoulder. So if you'd like a little more here, you can bring the knees higher. Gently press on the left thigh with the right hand. Or you could straighten the leg a little bit. Keep yourself left. We are preparing for rest in Shavasana. All of the limbs of yoga, all of the work leads us to this final stage in meditation. The goal here is, for this practice, simple. Can we keep the mind in stillness for even 1/2 of a breath? A daunting challenge at times, but a challenge worth taking up. One more breath. Next inhale, knees back to center. Exhale, legs off the left side, gaze off the right shoulder. So earlier in practice, it's first, you can't control the first emotion, you can control the second thought. Yoga teaches us that when we find the mind has wandered away from our concentration, we can say, aha, I have caught myself wandering, and this is a good thing, because now I have a chance to come back to myself, to my stillness, to my attention, to my true and best self. So if we take Shavasana coming up here, trying to keep the mind still, have stillness. Find the mind wandering, say, aha, this is a good thing. So I have another chance to practice my stillness, practicing an intention of mindfulness we can take with us outside of this practice. One more breath. Next inhale, knees come back to center, hands on the chin, giving yourself a big hug. If there's anything we skipped in this practice that you want to do, feel free to take that pose now so it does not distract you when you come to rest. When you're ready, releasing everything and resting in any comfortable position in Shavasana. Great job. gentle movement to the fingers and the toes. Movement returning to the ankles and the wrists. Movement coming all the way up the arms and the legs. Letting the arms come behind us overhead. Maybe taking one stretch, fingertips to toes. Inhale, stretching. Exhale, come out. Next inhale, bringing the knees to the chest, hands and chin, gently rocking until you find one side. Big breath. And then when you're ready, we'll meet in easy seats at the top of our mat. Sitting up nice and tall, hands to heart center. When we began this practice, we talked about hope. We had a quote from Anne Frank, and she still saw the good in people, no matter what her circumstance. I'd like to finish with a quote from Martin Luther King Jr. But I know somehow that only when it is dark enough can you see the stars. So we cannot control circumstances we find ourselves in. We cannot control the first emotion when things happen. But through mindfulness, through intention, through belief and hope and faith in ourselves and each other, that second thought, that choice that we make, we do have control of. And we have an option to do something that can inspire one person, who can inspire the next, and the next after that. One person at a time is all we have control of. And I hope and I believe that we'll make a meaningful impact and make really good choices. So, thank you so much for coming to this place to share your amazing yoga practice. Namaste. Thank you so much, everybody. 12 participants, including 2 of me, so 10 people. Thank you so much for joining me this morning for Yoga for the People by the People. You can feel free to turn your cameras on now and check in if you like. Leave a chat, but otherwise, thank you so much.
Thanks, Justin.
Thanks, man. Hope all is good.
Yeah, thank you, man. I'm doing great.